And welcome back to the Silver Lantern Archives. Today we'll be continuing on with Dominion of the Riftborn. Our party's gotten themselves into a spot of trouble, but as for how they got here and how they're going to get out, I'm going to have to put Sir Corbelius on the chopping block. Corbelius?
Cornelius.
Cornelius?
I would get into it, but I had a recap to do. So, when we started the campaign last week, everyone had a little bit of a slice of life starter. If I could recall, Xanth, our resident pirate queen, was fighting a losing battle on her ship. Varen
I'd have
was
figured it out.
hmm?
I would have figured it out.
Sure, sure. Lo, Fa- I don't see Blue's name on the game, and I can't, so I don't know what was his name again.
Father Dalton.
Father Dalton. Father Dalton was in a bar after a little bit of preaching on the side, doing some tarot card readings and the such. He decided to have a nice drink, in which of course he got into a fight. Well, not really a fight. Someone just talked shit to him, and he just smiled and took it.
Are you talking
Until
about?
isn't that what happened? Someone insulted you or something, and only later did the raiders, or I don't know if it was raiders or monsters, that ran into the bar and started slaughtering people.
I think you're
We,
mixing up Mirabelle and Father Dalton. Because what
yeah, remember
happened
that?
with Father Dalton was talking to some weird old woman came up and spoke to him.
Oh right, oh right, yeah. He started talking to this weird old lady at the bar.
She started
Nothing
talking to him.
problematic.
Dalton was just there going, what the fuck are you going on about?
But before he went into the mist, someone like monsters start storming in, slaughtering people.
Mm-mm. That's Silvara.
Oh no, so Laura heard like bells and had to go outside.
Where people were slaughtering things.
Yeah, then people were getting slaughtered. Yeah, I think you're right. It was Bella who got the people being slaughtered in the bar they were fighting in.
Yeah, but Bell was the one that got in the bar fight.
Yes, Bella, our resident barbarian slash gladiator, got into a bit of a tiff with some not so good, not so number one fans of their fights. Uh, Farron, I can't recall what Farron was getting into. I think they were. Oh, right. They were traveling down the road on a. Yes, they were traveling down the road on a on their buggy. I'm gonna say buggy, and they chanced upon a guy coming down the road, just just riddled with arrows in the back. They did their best to try to help them, but then they found the guy. Then I think the people who shot the guy found Farron. Sir Cornelius was also traveling down the road on his mount, to be determined, after slaughtering a camp full of goblins for a quest. He didn't just go into a camp of goblins and slaughter them for no reason. Where he met this really creepy little tiefling girl. Her eyes were glowing. She just did not look right. But all of this doesn't matter at all because we all got sucked into some sort of magic mist, and were transported to a strange world where we don't actually know where the hell we are right now. Right now, we're in jail cells. We were in some sort of soul plane earlier, where we had a good conversation. Uh, we introduced each other. Xanth tried to smack Cornelius's incorporeal form, and that didn't work. And we just chilled in there for a while until we woke up in these odd jail cells.
You were put
That's pretty much
somewhere
what.
else and then got jumped. Then ended up in the jail cells.
Oh yeah, we woke up on some sort of platform. Great isekai moment right there. But then it went dark isekai, and now we're in jail cells.
We rejoin our party. As they are sitting in cells, just waking up, still wearing the soft white fabrics of the last world, not their normal gear.
Who wakes up first?
Y'all all are waking up at the same time.
Roseanne's
Cordy?
standing up and looking around.
Your legs feel weak and wobbly.
Baron is sitting across from you and does give you a wave.
Xanth will nod.
Cornelius will rise, look around. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Cornelius will rise, look around, and start banging on his cage door. I say there, what is this? Who's in charge here? I demand to know why I've been imprisoned in here.
Cornelius, you see there is a man playing cards in front of you. He doesn't even look up at you.
You there, the man playing cards, and from my limited view, quite poorly. Are you in charge? I demand to speak to who's in charge.
You can see he says something in a low voice you don't quite catch as he puts a card on the table and slides it out of sight.
I say, if you do not tell.
Oh, for the love of God, Cornelius, shut up.
Who's that? I recognize the voice. Are you the one from that odd plane of existence? I want to say.
Cornelius, if you get my name wrong one more time, I swear to the gods, you're going to live to regret it.
Well, that's not much of a threat, but all right, Xanth. Is that you over there? And
No
Cornelius
shit, Sherlock.
tries to press his face against the bars to look around.
You can't really get much further out. You can take one step forward, but you can't really get through the bars.
There, Xanth is gonna
So,
poke what I'm. Huh?
something that Cornelius does notice as he is pressing against the bars, there's something around his neck.
Cornelius will grab it with his hands and like pull on it to see what the hell it is.
You can't get your fingers under it as it seems tight against your neck, but there is a metal band wrapped around your neck.
Cornelius will gasp in front. You fellows collar me! You there, the one attempting to. Excuse me. The one attempting to cheat at cards. I demand these are removed.
You see the other
You are
one
so loud.
slide a couple of what looks to be silver pieces, but even at the distance, it looks like the shape's a little weird. You don't recognize the standard coins you are used to.
Wait a minute. Those aren't well how would I call them?
Where are you from?
Silver. I'm from, let's say, Baldur's Gate, I guess. That's where the
Faerun.
Dragon.
Faerun.
Yeah, I think they're gold pieces or dragons. But those are silvers, so give me a second.
Silver shields, I think it is.
Um, one moment.
Are we still recording?
Yeah. Oh no, I'm gonna
Is
pause
that-
that. I think. And we're back. Sorry about that. We had to do some looking into things because I have memory of a bloody squirrel. So they seem to be working with some kind of silver coin over there.
Hold on a tick. Those aren't silver shards. Where in Faerun are we?
They continue to ignore you, not even looking up in the slightest.
Cornelius, my friend, I got a feeling that they are not going to care about how much whinging you are going to do. It's best you save your energy and wait until either our jailers or whoever is in charge of this establishment decides to come and make their presence known.
Well, they could at least clean up the cages a little bit. Honestly, what are we, animals?
Or was it the way you're acting? Yeah.
Right, so I'm
Yes.
thinking that Cornelius, whoever you are over there, the annoying one, if you don't shut up, as soon as I get out of this cage, I'm going to rip your tongue out of your throat and then stuff it up your own ass so you could taste how annoying your voice is. So how about you just pipe down for a bit so the rest of us can relax?
Good heavens!
Huh. I haven't been insulted like that since I was in Baldur's Gate. I haven't heard an
already
insult like
love
that
this
since I was in
one.
Baldur's Gate.
I already love this one.
They are mad. That is some language.
I think it's still common.
Did you say your name was?
I'm pretty
bleh.
sure you can understand what I'm saying.
You said your name was Bella, right?
Name's Yes, that's me. Not my
Are you
first
a
time
need?
in a cage, probably won't be my last, so you might as well just sit back and relax, because guessing by these gentlemen here, they're not going to do anything to help us, but just sit there and ignore us. So unless you think you can break the bars, and I don't think I can, might as well just wait. Nothing else we can do.
I'm in agreement there. That being said,
Um,
after we do get out of this, are you looking for a job?
I was doing a bit in an arena for a while, but I could always take some work. Never hurts to earn any money.
How do you feel about a ship?
Mm. Their place to sleep and eat.
Eh?
Looks at me.
Can I try use detect thoughts to see if I can read the guards' minds?
Roll the spell.
Bring up my stuff. Aha. I can cast it without any components since I'm telepathic.
Gotcha. As you attempt to work the spell out, you suddenly feel something on your neck get very warm, and then you feel an intense amount of pain as you are going to take 16 psychic damage as you lose hold of the spell and it lashes back on you.
God, motherfucker! Oh. And the way I say it is not in like the voice you've all heard before. Son of a bitch! Ow! 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 Ow!
You see, as
Who's that?
soon as that happens, these two stand up and he immediately moves that way.
Oh. Okay.
You get
How's
grabbed through it, yanked against the grabbed through the bars, grabbed by the front of your tunic, yanked towards them, and you have a knife to the right underneath of your chin. And they start speaking in some strange language you're not familiar with, saying something and then throwing you back against the wall.
I apologize, my friend, but if you're hoping to insult me, it's best you do it in a language that I can understand. As I seem to go back to like my regular speaking voice.
You see, he continues to say something, then turns to the other man and says something, still in that strange language nobody understands, before going to sit back down.
Ugh.
Well, that explains that.
Yeah,
Okay.
Xanth is going to like as they start to walk away, she's gonna cycle through a couple of different languages to see if they understand any of them. Specifically, Aquan, Common, Infernal, and Primordial.
Not one of them seems to register.
While they're having their moment with Blue, Bella really does want to kind of look around these bars, like test their strength, see if she can get out of this cage because she doesn't want to be in it. So she'd like to at least give it a try.
As you try to flex your muscles, pull on it, you feel heat around your neck start to seep into you, and you can feel the strength of your arms diminish.
Well, I could say that these colors are a bunch of shit. They will stop you from doing whatever you're trying. I'm assuming the weird, I don't know what he is, priest kind of guy over there tried something that hurt him. My strength is absolute shite right now, so I
Yes,
guess careful in yourselves.
yes, I will say that whatever happened there, it reflected back on me, and it was a most unpleasant feeling. I will say so. Ugh.
Right.
Nick still seems cross-eyed.
Well, that's nice to know. That means that I don't have to bother trying to see if my teleportation works.
So we can't force our way out, and we can't spell our way out. And because I'm pretty sure these guys don't speak any of our languages. Well, hold on. And Cornelius will try speaking Elven and Goblin.
They don't seem to respond.
So I'm gonna have to learn another language.
I kind of just
I
like
don't
do
think
like a
we're quite
one-word
where we
insult and
started,
like
people.
1 second.
go ahead.
Okok. I heard Okok first.
Bella just said, I don't think we're where we started, and I don't think we're going to be going anywhere anytime soon, unless we died, and this is hell. It's a pretty piss poor hell, but that's fine.
Xanth, something you can see is across the way. There's a girl dressed similarly to you, but one you don't remember seeing, as she has her legs pulled up to her chest and she's sitting against the back wall, her face kind of hidden behind her knees. You can also see what looks like somewhat elfish ears sticking out from under her blonde hair.
Xanth is gonna go. I should have Elven. I'm a fucking elf. I apparent. I am going to look at her and go, "Hey, Lassie, you're all right? She's got pink hair,
Blonde.
blonde. Hey, blondie who hasn't said anything.
You see, at words being directed towards her, she seems to shake a little bit. And that's when you notice some of the differences between what you're wearing and what she's wearing. Hers looks a little bit more torn up, and you can see what definitely looks like dried blood in some places along her neck and her side. Her ankles are chained as her wrists. They're not currently marked to anything, but you can definitely see the manacles there. It looks like this woman's been having a rough time.
Varen, you're gonna see that Xanth is looking at the cell next to you, and her eyes have narrowed.
You look slightly perturbed. Is something amiss in the cells next to me?
I'm pretty sure that one's been tortured. She looks like she needs a medic.
I could try to help. I just need to touch if they get near.
You can't use
Be
your
careful
magic
doing
right
anything
now.
if you got your collar on.
I don't think we can help her right now. Just keep a note of it. He's gonna need help whenever whatever the fuck this is over with.
Are there
Dan?
any sorry, go ahead.
No, you can go ahead. Ask the question because
I
it
was
might be
just wondering where
important.
they're talking. Yeah, I was just wondering, are there any rocks or pebbles or anything inside these cells or anything loose that is throwable?
You have a bucket and some hay.
There's no loose anything. It's just a bucket and hay.
Mm-hmm. These
Anything in the bucket?
no.
Anyone have any ideas? I'm not worried about them overhearing us. By the way, I'm pretty sure they won't understand our language either.
I was
I
hoping that if I could get one of them over here, I could get the key off of them. But need to throw something at them or piss them off somehow most of the time to get them to come to your cage. That way the healer could get out. At least that's who I think's talking. I can't see anyone except for these jerks in front of me and a couple people over in the corner, I think.
Well, if it's about pissing someone off to get them close to you, I'm pretty sure I could do that.
Hey, you've always been good at that one. That being said, I would also point out that just because they're not responding to us doesn't necessarily mean that they can't understand. A lot of people can understand the language and not speak it.
Well, I mean, I did point out one of them was cheating, and no one did anything. So
At that point, you'll hear the distinctive sound of chains. And Xanth, you can see across the way the elfish girl flinches and cowers back. The two sitting at the tables, you'll both hear them stand up.
oh, they're on the move.
Attention!
They seem to be waiting for something.
It would seem they're waiting for something. I can see them quite clearly from my vantage.
Right, just to be sure, are we all the same people who were in the white place together, right? The father, the healer, the what was your name? Darren?
Varen.
Right, Xanth, the annoying one, and then the snake lady, yeah?
Or Sir Cornelius Cornwood at your service.
Yeah, I know, the annoying
I
one. We got it.
it looks like it's pretty much the rest of us. That being said, I see an elven woman. I don't recognize that one.
There's also a dog in the cell two below yours and someone else I don't recognize.
You'll hear the chains are getting closer. Cornelius,
said
you are the first one to see them. As you see a woman a ways down come around a corner. A tall tiefling dressed in black attire, armor, and that is absolutely covered in runes, and her body draped in chains. And behind her there's another figure. One that is moving slower, but is dressed in simple red and black robes. The pair of them are walking towards the group.
I say, fellows, I think we're about to find out who's in charge. Finally.
Oh, for the love of God, Cornelius, put a sock in it.
I don't have any, thank you very much. I'm pretty sure we're all dressed the same. Wait, are we all dressed the same right now?
You'll hear a door burst open and two more individuals come sprinting out. All dressed the
Doesn't seem like they're
same.
big fans of taking care of people.
All dressed in the same manner as the first. Two dressed in these strange red robes.
Well, I would have to say, based on the way these people are dressed, we're dealing with a cult. Father Dalton, thoughts?
Cornelius, I say this with all respect possible. Please shut the fuck up.
Father Dalton, can I get a
Um,
religion check from you?
Right.
With advantage.
Oh, sweet. Okay.
What I
Advantage.
will do?
This is
Two-
specifically for Father Dalton.
Oh.
See, religion. Aha. 23.
Dalton, while you're looking at not the woman in chains that's working forward, who seems to be commanding the attention of the four men, your attention gets drawn to the older man in the back. You can't really see his face, but he has this long white beard, but it's his robes that catch your eye. Because while you don't recognize everything about it, you recognize the basic cut of it. Those robes are generally given to high priests or archbishops in most religions that you're familiar with. It's not the exact, and there's some odd quirks to it, but you recognize the basic design.
On seeing that, Father Dalton, he is going to take to a knee and like bow his head down.
Fair. You see, he seems to be stepping back as this woman in chains seems to be talking with the four men that are now in the room. No one has a clue as to what they're saying, but there seems to be a subordinates to the four men to this woman. After about a moment, she points to three of the cells, and these men start to move forward. You see a key is given by the woman in chains for each of them, and the prison cells are opened for a moment. You hear a almost pitiful whimpering coming from the woman across from you, Xanth, as she is grabbed by the hair and dragged out into the front. The table is moved out of the way so she can be put in there. Bella,
Did I just see who I thought I just saw?
you can see them from where you're standing. Kind of. You do recognize the hair. And now that you can kind of hear the voice a little bit through the whimpering, you know exactly who that is, Cornelius. But that's not the one that catches your eye, because Bella and Cornelius, y'all hear a scuffle start off to your left. As another one of the men runs up to try to subdue somebody that they're trying to drag out of the cell next to Bella. You hear a lot of bitching that y'all all understand. It seems there is some feminine individual who seems to be putting up a fight. As you see as Xanth, you can see a red tiefling dragged out. You know this individual as well, because she broke your nose. In some of your past dealings with Cornelius, she's faster than he is. She headbutted you in the face. You then proceeded to throw her off a building, but she seems to have recovered.
I want to say, CC, wouldn't I have gained this squire way after meeting Xanth the first
Oh,
time?
you think that I stopped fucking with you after that once? Trust me, you've seen me since.
It would only be a couple of years, and she's been with you for a couple of years at this point.
Fair enough.
But she lost that solidly. But she does look like she's recovered since you've last seen her. But or at least she's recovered from what you did. You can see she's in a bad. Her robes are her tunic is even more bloodied, almost matching her skin tone at this point. As she is getting dragged out, you see a very familiar move as she headbutts the shit out of one of the cultists. She immediately gets stabbed in the gut for it and goes down to a knee. But she doesn't seem to be ready to stop. A third individual is dragged out. This one seems to be going more willingly and hasn't suffered as many wounds, but does seem to have been on the bad side of this as well. Though seems to be the best off of the three of them. Cornelius, you do recognize this one as well as you see a flash of those purple eyes before she is forced to kneel in front of the other red tiefling. What do the lot of you do?
As soon as Cornelius sees the treatment of not only their caretaker but also their squire, Cornelius just runs right into the cage, trying to force it down. You bastards! What have you done, Natalia?
You see the individuals ignore you. The blonde tries to turn around, but immediately gets kicked by the man behind her. You hear another whimper, and she turns back to the front.
I start to try wrenching the doors off.
Cornelius, you are not helping them by freaking the fuck out. Calm
Cornelius,
yourself.
you feel a lashback through your collar. You are going to take 7 psychic damage.
Bella would love to reach through the cage and try and grab this one by the neck and just like smash his head in the cage and then let go.
He is currently too far away, as
What
he's
about
on the other side of the square.
What about this guy? Is he close enough for Cornelius to grab?
That's the same guy Bella's trying to grab,
Ah,
as he's
okay.
right behind the woman. But you see there seems to be some kind of conversation going on. The woman talking to the 3 of them. The woman that seems less battle ready than the other 2 is shaking.
Cornelius just grips onto the door of the cage with impotent rage. This is the girl that he has known for his entire life. He is not happy right now. But he can't do anything because this goddamn collar.
You see, they seem to be talking for about 10 minutes. It's definitely a tone that seems to be talking down to the 3 of them. You can hear the anger from the tiefling, as she seems to be the worst at schooling herself, as she is boiling with rage. The girl next to her, the blonde elf, seems to just be broken at this point, whimpering and having been beaten down. And the last of the women seems to be a full stoic, reacting to nothing they do. You see the old man step forward after a little while and say something into the ear of a woman, in which she looks back at him for a moment concerned. He says something else in that low tone. It's so low you don't even really hear his voice, but you can see that he's speaking based on the way his beard moves. But after a moment, the tiefling seems to give in, and she turns to the other cultists and points to the woman in the middle, who immediately starts to weep. There is an immediate ruckus from both of the other women. Despite just being stabbed, the red tiefling tries to get up, gets leveled, and you see her hit the ground. And she stops moving, as she got sideswiped by the pommel of a blade. On the other side, this woman is trying to get in front. The woman in purple, she's not in purple, but the woman with purple eyes seems to be trying to get in front of the elven woman, and she gets smacked hard enough to lift her off her feet and send her rolling closer to Cornelius's cell. Cornelius, you can see her cheek is already starting to bruise, and there's a lot of blood on that cheek. Can I get a perception check?
Come on, perception. Come on. You know what? I don't want to miss this, and my perception is shit. So I'm going to use that hero point I got from doing the recap for advantage.
Cornelius, you see as she falls, she goes down hard. It is a loud thing, which is very odd from her because you know she knows how to roll and she's not doing it. Instead, she takes a chair down with her, hits the ground, and there's an almighty clatter that almost makes you miss the soft sound of a metallic clink. Clink. As if metal is hitting stone. Out of the corner of your eye, you see something small and silver fly out of her hand and disappear into the bale of hay, or the bed of hay just behind you.
Cornelius will kneel down and reach through the bars to offer a comforting hand to my shadow.
You see the
Sable.
cultist next to her steps on the back of her shoulders, pressing down right underneath where her neck meets it. And he starts to grind her into the ground. As this woman is dragged away by one of the others screaming.
I look, and I'm trying to memorize the faces and body shapes, everything I can to later identify these assholes, because I'm going to do horrible things to them. It will be an episode all on itself on what I do to these assholes.
You also see the man in the back gesture to the other two women and say something else. The red tiefling yet again responds, and these three, or the other two, are dragged from the room as well, leaving only the one cultist and the two. The tiefling begins to walk away after the other two, disappearing down the hallway, but the priest stays for a moment, taking a look around, looking you all in the eye, one at a time. He then has a soft smile, and then he too leaves.
Cornelius mutters under his breath, "When I get out of here, I am going to make you eat your own beard and shit it out."
Cornelius,
I muttered
telling them
that.
your plans is not going to help us right now.
Xanth,
In this case,
I'm afraid reasoning with him is not possible. He is too incompetent to keep his emotions in check.
I'll beat it into him eventually. That being said, at the very least, I recognize that tiefling, and I've got a mighty decent amount of respect for her. So Cornelius, keep your shit, and I'll help you fucking save him.
As soon as Cornelius won't say anything, but he's just watching this last cultist, waiting for them to stop watching them.
Oh, he's gone over this way, and he seems to be getting a bucket of water.
As soon as his back is turned, Cornelius goes back to his little straw bed and starts digging around for what I'm assuming is the key to his cell.
Roll me a perception.
All right.
You do find a small silver key.
Cornelius will. There's no. I'm assuming there's no good place to hide it on his person.
No, you've only really got white breeches and a white tunic. You've got a rope belt as well, but that's about it. No shoes.
So Cornelius will put it in his mouth, go to the door, and just sit and wait for his opportunity. This will be the quietest you'll ever hear from Cornelius.
For those that can still see him, you'll see he has gotten a rag and a bucket. And he is crouched down and is starting to clean the blood of the tiefling girl off the floor. What will the lot of you do?
This is going to be
Cornelius,
one of those few times I wish I could fucking see Cornelius.
Cornelius just sits and waits, watching the guy. If looks could kill, this guy would be a steaming pile at this point.
Bella wants to try and get his attention to come over to her cell. Just to give him like a little hug or get close to him is all she wants in life. They're like, oi, you,
He does not seem to be watching.
good shit.
He is completely focused on his cleaning. And after about 10 minutes, you'll hear the footsteps of the other guard returning.
We were trying to do anything, that was probably a chance. I can't get him to come to my cage though.
The downside of not being understood.
Even like making noise, they just keep ignoring her, right?
Yeah.
Like if she takes the bucket and just slams it on the bars over and over and over and over again repeatedly, loud,
Yes.
just causing a shit show. They don't even look at her.
Varen is going to step up to the bars, do a good old throat clear, and spit on the top of his head while he's wiping up the mess.
You
That's
love it.
see, they
Bella
stop
was working.
and they look over at you. What do you do, Baron? You have his attention.
Simply stick out the tongue and do a thumb to the nose.
Roll me a persuasion check.
Ooh.
You see, this man is starting to get annoyed. And you see, he goes to lunge at you, but as he does, he gets grabbed by the back of the hood and yanked back by the other one. They seem to have a quick conversation, the one that's just returning, yelling at the other one, who is giving Varen dagger eyes.
Neener, neener.
He attempts to lunge at you again and gets bodily thrown across the room.
As soon as both of them have their backs to our mate, Cornelius will walk up to the cage door and stand there, transferring the key from his mouth to his hand, just waiting.
Do note, when he gets thrown, he does stand up and look back your way. Because that's kind of the way he's looking. He's not looking directly at you, he's looking at the other cultist.
Yeah, so I don't think he would notice. He just got thrown. I mean, like, all he knows is me doing shit.
Roll me a sleight of hand.
There's
With advantages because he just got thrown.
No.
You're not worried about the one that just got thrown. There's two cultists in here.
Wait, I thought wouldn't this one be looking at the guy he just threw?
No, he is, but you're trying not to make a sound, which is your bigger issue.
What sound could?
I thought, I mean, you have to remember, Bella's still sitting here banging a bucket against the thing to
Yeah.
make as much noise as possible. And if this doesn't work, she's going to do something much more disturbing to get their attention.
Alrighty, Cornelius, you managed to transfer it. The sound for the moment being drowned out by Bella.
Which are they still facing away from Bella and ignoring her?
The one in the middle is, the other one is facing towards you.
Okay. Then didn't want to do this, but Bella's going to take the bucket. She's going to pee in said bucket and then she's going to sling all of the urine outside of the cell onto the floor while staring at the one that's looking at her.
You see, he's just like, what the fuck? The one that has his back to you doesn't care. He doesn't turn around. He seems to be having words with the other one. I'm gonna give them numbers real quick. One,
Her assumption is now
two.
that
You
number
see,
2, I'm guessing, is focused on her.
he's complaining and he seems to be gesturing at you. The number one, on the other hand, is seeming to try to keep him in line. Number two gets in number one's face, and a shouting match is occurring one-sided.
Bella's just gonna kind of say, I don't know if we need him to fight each other, be distracted, but hopefully this is working. And then she's gonna grab her bucket and just start banging on the bars again after she's thrown urine at them with it, because that is what you do in a cage.
Cornelius would have.
You go full chimpanzee.
Not Bella's first time in a cage, so she's learned the art of pissing people off while being locked up. Let's put it that way.
So number 2 looks very agitated, and number 1 is trying to keep him controlled, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm guessing one more thing would probably break this guy's spirit. So, Cornelius, with his free hand, the one that's not currently holding keeping the key palmed, will free Willie and start spraying fits. Because I don't need a bucket. I'll just go straight. I'll go right for the hose and start spraying it all over the floor in front of his cage.
My God.
Keeping full eye contact. Full eye contact with number 2.
Varen, can you
pretty
see
grim.
Xanth?
I can see Zap.
I
Okay.
hope no one can see Bella, because this is not a high point in anyone's life. I'm gonna be honest with you, but you gotta do what you gotta do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no,
I can just
Varen.
see Bella too.
Yeah.
Oh
Oh,
gosh.
Xanth, you notice as the number 2 is saying something, you feel your collar start to cool all of a sudden.
cool.
Yeah, its temperature is dropping.
I'm gonna put down what I'm doing.
Can I get a perception check?
Yeah. Perception. Not performance.
You notice across the way where Varen is, in the shadows of that cage, or the cell next to Varen, there seems to be a figure near the side of their door who is pointing at you. You can see in the shadow their mouth seems to be moving very subtly, but they seem to be doing something. And as the collar cools, you almost feel as if the energies around you are starting to shift when the voices of the man that is the voice of the man that is yelling starts to change, going from understood to not understood. These are the people.
You mean flipped? Okay. So from not understood to understood. Got
It's
it.
going back and forth.
Okay.
Kind of like a radio, you're tuning to a radio station that you can't quite find. You're getting the voices in and out.
Okay.
These are the people. Swine. That's all. How can they rift? Are you sure? And it's struggling, and you see it goes back to normal temperature, and it's back to you not understanding. as you see a small spark and the person in the other cell slinks back a little bit as if shocked.
Okay, and which cell was this?
The one next to Varen over here, right across from you.
Okay, so there's someone. Okay.
Silvara had said earlier that there was an individual over that way. They just couldn't see him.
Fair. Okay, and so this dude and somebody else were talking,
Number
correct?
1 and number 2 were talking. Number 2 is yelling at number 1. You were understanding
Okay,
number 2 briefly.
briefly. Bella, Cornelius, knock it off.
When you turn back to say this, Cornelius is doing the helicopter, but he immediately pulls his pants back up. I'm sorry. It's just fun. I just thought it was funny.
These fuckers might actually be on our fucking side.
I have a hard time believing anyone is on our side if they treat people like that. And
I'd
I
be
can tell you right
surprised
now,
what you'll
whatever
have.
side they're on, I don't want to be on it.
I can wholeheartedly agree with that sentiment.
Well, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but people do shitty things when you don't have a choice. I am going to sit back and I'm going to keep an eye. I'm not as concerned about the two cultists arguing, but I'm going to go back so at the very least, Varen, you can see me. Dance weaving something.
Do note that the hay in which you're looking for or the working with is not good.
Oh, here's
It's
the thing.
sprung
I know
very
it's
moldy.
not good. Yes. I'm working with what I've got.
Yeah. You're not entirely
So
sure you'll be able to make anything worthwhile. But hey,
it's
keep your
still
hands busy.
better than it's still better than sitting by idly.
Yep.
And at the very least, if I make it long enough, it might not be able to pick these locks, but I might be able to transfer things back and forth between gauges.
Fair. So what will the party do now that Xantha said something?
Bella's just gonna go sit down at the back of her cell and stretch out and put her hands behind her head and close her eyes to go to sleep because no reason to sit here and fret over things at this point.
I hate to say it, but at this point, after seeing what he saw, Cornelius would not even want to be even slightly friendly with these guys. So he's still just standing by his cage door, waiting for his opportunity.
Fair. What about
Farron's
Dalton?
going to
Fair. Go ahead.
Farron's going to sit right at the edge of the bars and just lean her head against it to get the most view if she can, and just start rubbing her arms.
And Dalton. Blue.
Blue, you're muted.
Hold on. So what is Father Dalton up to? As most of this party is settling in.
Father Dalton is more just like waiting and observing. He pretty much figures that what Cornelius and Bella are doing is just going to aggravate them more, so he's just waiting to see what happens.
Bella and Cornelius have both stopped.
Yeah, he's just waiting to see, because at this point, the only thing he can do is just wait and see what these people do, because his magic clearly isn't working. That would be his only way out.
Yeah. At certain points, not Bella. Xanth will look at you, Father Dalton, and kind of just go ask for the driest pieces of hay that you can flip her, speaking that we're pretty close.
Sorry, the driest pieces of what?
Hay.
You have a hay bale.
Sure, yeah, I grab what I can from like the hay bale and I slowly just pass it over.
Most of it is slightly humid and kind of wet and moldy. It's not good, but it's definitely something. So it would take you some time to go through the pieces, see what pieces are actually good for anything. Ones aren't.
Oh,
You're looking
that's
for a
okay.
needle and a
We've got
haystack
time.
when all of the needles look like hay. But
Fair.
the hours pass. The argument stops after a while. Number 2 sits down and off, with number 1 shaking his head, and they return playing the cards. The number 2 is facing directly towards you, Cornelius. And the hours pass. Eventually, however, after everything's been quiet for a long time, distant scream rips through the air. It is a pained scream, and it does not stop for 3 hours.
Do I recognize that scream? Or do I recognize the voice of the person screaming?
Oh yeah, and you've never heard her like this.
Would Xanth be able to see Cornelius?
Kind of. Not well, but
Not well. You can see that she is honestly, she's asking for just basically like a chain just in case anyone can understand that shouldn't, of just pass her as much of the dry hay as possible. And she looks like she's a little hearing the scream. She's still calm, but seems to be trying to hurry what she is doing. Xanth is actively trying to figure out a way to pick this fucking lock.
another.
I just realized something.
Yeah.
Cornelius is going to feel around to the back of his neck just to see if maybe the... Because you said it was a tiny key, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Cornelius is going to feel around to the back of his neck to see if there's a like a padlock or something back there. He never noticed.
There is not.
A hole,
Nope.
something that a little key would go into.
Nope.
Okay, I just had to make sure. And the I'm assuming the lock on these doors are small.
Yeah.
If there's a tiny key. Okay.
It looks like if you examine it, there are 3 locks. So it looks like it's going to take a little while to do it, but based on what you saw when the others got dragged out, the same key is used for all 3 locks.
Hey, Cornelius.
Are you saying that as Xanth or in the?
Yeah, above table.
Yeah.
Can you
what's
roll
up?
me a history check real fast?
I can indeed. 16.
You're gonna remember that Xanth's good in a brawl. Not he doesn't need a weapon to be good in a brawl.
But the issue is I'm not. I can see you, but I'm not entirely confident in my ability to throw the key to you.
No, but Father Dalton's right there.
Is he? I can't see anyone next to me.
Where are you? You're right
He's next to Dalton.
here?
He's in the middle cell.
Yeah. So yeah, he's cell next to you. You can hear him. Dalton's in here.
You do also know that different keys go to different cells. They kept changing keys when they're dragging people out.
Yeah. So only my key would work for my lock.
You don't
Fair.
even know that.
Well,
No.
we saw how they were working with the keys, right?
You only saw one of them. The other 2 were to the side. It's Xanth that knows that. Because
Yeah.
they could see the 2 cells in which the tiefling and the blonde were dragged out of.
Do I know whose key?
Well, I don't think anyone knows about the key yet.
Well, yeah, that's fair. So
Yeah.
who knows whose fucking cell it belongs to?
Yep. But Xanth, after a while, you can hear under the screams. You once again you feel the cold come back to your collar.
Okay.
It's been about 6 hours since they got dragged out by this point.
Mm-hmm. I am going to sit still and listen in the hopes that sitting still helps whatever it is this person's doing.
Is once again you feel like you're being tuned into something.
Mm-hmm.
This time it's stronger. I don't understand what they're looking for. They should just deal with him. We only need one of them. We should just kill the rest. You know that's not gonna work. And they're always a risk. They're so strong, and then everything goes wrong when they're about it. You know this. And they're the ones that are going to lead us forward. That's a fool's errand. You know they just see them as tools. We should get rid of the rest while we still can. Keep the weak ones, kill the strong. They'll be easier to manipulate. And if things go wrong, we'll need their strength. The fool's thing. No one can beat the warden or the high seer. So they say. You know it's true. The voices continue on like that for a few seconds, but you hear they are starting to fade in and out again between the two strange languages.
Okay. Xantha's not stupid, so the person that's casting this spell has to look at me. So I'm going to give like just a hand signal of, hey, stop casting, because it's obviously losing it, in the hopes that she doesn't get zapped.
You feel it get even colder as they seem to be pushing more and more magic. You can see sparks starting to surround their hand. But Xanth, you're starting to feel more of your own strength return. You think for a single round you might be able to use most of your ability, but it probably won't hold.
Is okay. So something. Okay. You said for a single round?
Yes.
So
You can choose to do
basically, I
something, or you
haven't.
can choose not to. She does seem to be getting better.
That screaming's going on for too long.
And I think at this point you would know Cornelius is about to do something.
Yeah.
Cornelius has been sitting there for hours.
Slowly
More
stealing
so,
away.
I at this point, it's not necessarily that I know what he's doing. I just know he's about to do something stupid because of all the screaming. My inventory isn't going to tell me what spells I have.
No, it's not.
A single round.
Take that step.
Yeah. I'm gonna risk it for the fucking biscuit, and in the hopes fucking fuckface figures it out. I'm gonna face step out of my cell.
Where are you gonna go?
I am going to specifically. Okay, I can see number 1.
Mm-hmm.
Is number 2? Can I hear number 2 like right over here?
Yeah, they seem to be over there somewhere.
Okay. So I'm going to face step right here. I am going to intentionally not hurt them so they see the fire lick around their feet, in the sense of, I could hurt you if I want. I'm going to try and disarm number 2 because he's been the one that's been, or number 2 is the one that's been iffy, right?
Yeah, he's been the angry one. He has the scimitar on his belly. He's not even holding it at the moment.
I'm gonna grab it.
I
Is
need
there?
a athletics with advantage because he is not ready.
Okay. Athletics with advantage.
You see, he is not ready for it all, and he startles at the flames going over sideways and falling prone, but you are able to relieve him of his sword as he goes down.
I am then going to step on him so that he stays down. And I'm going to look this guy in the eye and go, and just comment, release them or we're fighting. And pray that he can understand me.
Unfortunately, now that as soon as you teleported out, you have the feeling of the collar coming back into full by the time you land.
Okay.
You think whatever the individual in the other cell was doing when you warp, it interrupted it, and it's a problem now.
Fair.
Would you
I made a choice.
would you say Xanth has their full attention right now?
Oh yeah, one's on the ground with a sword at his neck. The other one has drawn his weapon.
All right, Cornelius. As soon as he sees Xanth like teleport in, will start trying the key on the locks.
Oh yeah, it fits.
So he starts opening the door.
It's 3 keys. It's gonna take more than a couple seconds to get through them.
He's doing it.
What is the rest of the party doing?
Well, everyone stood up, but she can't really do anything.
Dalton, Bella.
I think to the average person, it would look like Bella's sleeping. Not, but it looked like she is. She's just laying back there relaxing.
For example, this is going on. What are you doing? You have a blade to one cultist's throat. The other one has their blade pointed to yours.
You would also see Cornelius futzing with the locks.
Which isn't exactly quiet, but in the original scuffle has been covered so far. If no movement happens, they're going to hear him, however.
Yeah, so I'm going to keep talking. Basically, I am standing on number 2. I have him at point. And basically, I am trying to convey to this dude that I don't actually want to fight him. I will defend myself if need be, but I am also trying to keep quiet enough that or trying to keep talking long enough to either figure out 2 things. Either one, this woman can get the basically sit still long enough that she can get the collar to knock it the fuck off. Cornelius can get out, or a combination of them all. So I want attention on me. If I don't have to fight, I don't want to. But if this guy's
Are you trying to persuade him or intimidate? Because you know he probably doesn't understand.
he doesn't understand me. That being said, I can use hands to show unlock the other doors. I'm trying to use body language. I'm trying to persuade at the moment.
And he also has a blade to use and does seem hostile.
Then I guess we're trying intimidation.
Gotcha. You will have advantage on your intimidate.
Okay. Okay. Thank God for advantage.
You see his hand is very unsteady. You're pretty sure you could actually disarm him very quickly if you wanted to.
Then I'm going to, because he needs to be disarmed.
Roll an attack roll with advantage with your scimitar.
Oh, 1 second. I need to put a scimitar on my sheet. Come on, load. Wait a minute. Oop. And you said with advantage?
Mhm.
Okay.
Because he is spooked.
Be spooked, bitch! Sorry, I'm trying. There we go. Okay, and then here we go. Advantage. Boop.
Can't beat that as you are able to dive quickly in with your blade, catch the cross guard and twist it out of his hand, the other blade falling into yours, and now you have both of their weapons.
Alrighty. I am. That's a healer.
I do, however, need an athletics or acrobatics check.
Oh, athletics. 100%. So my acrobatics isn't good. It's not bad, but it's not good. That's Arcana. I don't need that.
You feel somebody try to kick out your leg from underneath, but you are able to bear through it. Definitely does bruise your ankle, but he did try to kick your leg out from under you. The guy that's on the ground. In that moment's
Yeah,
distraction while you were trying to disarm the other one.
that's fine. Okay.
Xantha's gonna hear Bella, even though her eyes look closed, and she looks super relaxed, just say, might be a bit faster if you go ahead and just knock them both unconscious, don't you think?
Working on it.
Would
Yeah, I'm going to keep standing on number 2, but I don't want to kill. I'm legitimately trying to just knock out number 1.
Gotcha.
would at this point Cornelius have been able to open the door?
Not yet.
One more round, I think.
Yep.
So number 2 is under my foot.
Yep.
So going after number 1, just trying to knock him out.
He is going to try to grab at you as he is trying to wrestle control of the weapon out of your hands.
Okay, what do I need to roll?
Athletics or acrobatics?
Okay.
He is almost going to get a hold of it with assistance from his friend, but you are barely able to keep it.
Okay.
So it's a 17
I'm going.
versus 18.
Oh fuck. Okay. We're going to knock this fucker out. He needs to go night night. Okay, scimitar, because if I am not risking putting these down. Where?
Could just kick him in the side of the head.
I could.
Probably do less damage.
Yeah. Okay. Come on, you
It's
can
gonna
do
hit.
it. There it goes. Damage. Boop.
Gotcha. He still seems to be standing. Are you attacking with the offhand as your bonus?
Yes.
Gotcha. Go ahead and roll. It's gonna hit as well.
Not guiding bolt. Oh shit.
have that, so that's 3 damage. You don't have dual wielder yet.
No.
He's still standing. The guy underneath you is going to attempt to grapple. Athletics or acrobatics? Never mind. Hey, well, I guess I still need it, but
You still need it.
yeah, that's what I thought. Because during this turn, Cornelius will use his action to actually get the door open. So you'll have your movement and your bonus, but you won't have your main action.
All right. As soon as the doors open, Cornelius runs. I can't get out.
Bup, 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 bup.
Let me out.
No, you should.
Oh, thank you. Cornelius runs over and uses his object interaction to grab hold of one of the chairs, and gets ready to smash it on this guy on this guy from behind.
Fair. Xanth?
As he's doing that, I am becoming the target. I'm trying to cover up Cornelius's approach. That being said, is it back to my turn?
Yeah.
Okay. Boop. Knockout, knockout. Number 1.
It's going to hit. Still standing.
He needs to stop standing.
He's going to get hit.
Did that not go through?
There it is.
There it goes.
6 extra damage. That is going to make him fall. Are you going to be going anywhere? Or are you still standing on the cultist?
I am still active. Like I am going to move my foot so that I am pressed against his chest, so that I do not want him to get up.
I need an athletics or acrobatics. He is going to beat you, getting a hold of your leg and flipping you out from under, or you out. He flips you onto your back as you crash to the ground. You
Okay.
are going to fall prone, and he is going to get up. I need a sleight of hand check.
Okay. Sleight of hand. At stealth.
You managed to keep both weapons in your hand, surprisingly. But he is now jumping on you, trying to strike you. Cornelius, that brings us to you.
Cornelius goes around. The guy's unconscious, so he goes around over here and wallops this guy in the back of the head with the chair.
Roll me. Do you have bar brawling?
I don't. I also
Roll
don't
me
have
a
a
strength
weapon.
check. You are going to miss, as you're not used to swinging a weapon like this, and he sees it coming and dodges out of the way while using his knee to keep one of Xanth's arms down and his hand tight around her throat.
Cornelius, Cornelius, and Xanth is actively trying to hand you one of the scimitars.
All right, Cornelius will go around and use his object interaction to grab the
You would not
scimitar
be
out
able
of
to
the
go
chair.
there. There's a
Oh,
wall
no?
in your way.
Oh, well, shit.
You can kick the table out of the way. It's a table.
Oh, yeah, okay. So Cornelius will barge through the table, just pushing it out of my way. Use my object interaction to grab the scimitar. And let me just put that on my sheet. Or is it the same roll as a longsword?
No. The same one as a
No.
short sword, but slashing.
Am I spelling scimitar wrong? Okay, there it is. Yeah. Scimitar. and use my extra attack to slash at him.
Gotcha. You're gonna hit.
15 for 8 slashing.
Okay.
And is this one of the guys who stabbed my friends? Or
No,
was
those are the
violent
two
towards
that
them?
dragged him out. I mean, they were all violent, but
Okay, then I'm not actively trying to kill them.
he was the one that dragged your friend out by the hair.
Okay, not actively trying to kill them, but I am going to dismember this person.
Gotcha. So
Put
you
it
are
this way.
doing damage.
They have lost. Yes, I am doing damage. They have lost
Are
hand
oh,
privileges.
okay. Let's rephrase this. Are you doing lethal or non-lethal?
Non-lethal damage.
There we go.
Okay, so you're just hitting him with the flat of the blade.
For now. He will get
Yeah.
his later.
Alrighty. That brings us to Xanth. Xanth, this guy has you pinned. You have disadvantage on attacks as he's got the arm that you have your weapon in. Did I lose net?
No, you did not.
Okay.
Can I use my object interaction to hand Cornelius the other scimitar?
It's on the other side of your body, and if you let go of it, the cultist will get it before Cornelius. Because he's
Well,
got
fine.
control of that hand. You do have your free arm.
Okay.
He's only got one of your hands. You want to deck the bastard, you can.
Oh, I will. She's gonna look up at him and smile and go, "You always, you think he's gotten me? Too bad I've got a nice left hook." Where's my unarmed strike? There it is. Non-lethally, by the way.
You're gonna hit him square in the face. This is the second one to have a broken nose. Do you now have Tavern Bro? Doesn't Tavern Bro
I
have
have
a higher D4? I thought it was a D6.
No, Tavern Brawler is a D4.
Oh,
Um,
nice.
That being said, that's an unarmed strike.
Excuse me.
So I'm going to use my bonus action to grapple a motherfucker.
You don't need to.
Oh.
No. You knocked his ass out.
Fair.
As soon as he goes unconscious, Cornelius just like kicks him off you and offers you a hand up.
He'll take it and stand. All right. Let's see if we can get that. You look through that one's pocket, and she points to number 2, and I'll look through this one. Let's see if we can find the other keys.
Cornelius, not being none too gentle about it, starts ripping through their belongings to see if they have any keys.
Yep.
You hear the
And you
sound
literally-
of tearing fabric. You see a pocket watch fall out, a gold coin, 4 silver pieces, and 10 copper.
Well, I'm not a thief, so I'm not going to take anything. I'm just looking for a key.
Xanth, how are you looking through the other one?
I'm looking through the pockets. Like, I'm looking through. I'm not like ripping them or anything, but I'm actively see what he has on him.
You can see he has both of them have sheaths for the scimitars y'all have stolen, but
I'll
he's
take
got a
that.
couple coins. But you do find a ring of keys.
4. What coins?
You find 3 gold, 2
Okay.
silver, and 5 copper.
I am a thief.
You also notice that the coins here look very strange.
Fair. We'll keep that in mind.
You see, instead of the gold
Uh.
coin having the dragon, copper dragon, the copper piece has what looks similar to a dragon.
Fair. All right. Well, I'm gonna put all that in my pocket, and then I'm going up to Varen,
As it
and I'm
stands, you
gonna
don't have
start.
pockets.
I'll put them in my boob.
Over
Works for
here,
me.
I'm going to start looking over here. Is there anything that resembles like a pot lid or the top of a barrel that has a handle?
Yeah.
Like
I mean,
something,
there's a pot,
something,
but
something I can use as as a makeshift shield.
none that will give you mechanic advantage, but something you can technically use.
I'm honestly, I'm just looking for something I could use with my shield master with a bonus for the bonus action.
Nothing big enough.
Damn.
I'm gonna start letting Varen out.
It takes a little bit to find the right key, but you do find it. You do see they
Okay.
have a collar around their neck as well.
I'm kind of useless in a fight. You're probably better off getting Bella over there.
Never leave a man behind. As I
Huh.
pop your cell open, and we're going systematically. Start letting this woman out.
You see, she stands up finally and rubs her wrist. You can see there are burn marks around her hands from probably what was the lightning that kept going off with whatever she was trying to do to you.
Iodia 1.
Juicy, if
But
you kindly move me.
I'm moving
Thank you.
y'all's
Yeah.
doors.
Ah,
Do these guys look like they're wearing any kind of armor underneath these robes?
Nope, just ropes.
Dang.
but I owe that woman one.
Varen will start ripping number one's robes into strips of cloth.
Gotcha. You are able to do so.
While he's doing that, I'm going to hand this woman her key, and I'm gonna go, Cornelius, throw them in that woman's cell.
Cornelius grabs them by their ankles and starts dragging them none too gently into the cell,
We'll move out the fuck away.
making sure to bump every single uneven corner and little bit of elevation so their heads bump every time.
Cornelius, you're an asshole. But then I'm going to free Bella.
Hey, they started it.
Agreed. Time to free Father Clolton.
Before you lock them in there, might be best to gag them. Maybe tie them up.
Good point. Cornelius will go back into the cell using the strips of their cloth to bind their arms and legs together. He'll wad it up and stuff it in their mouths. He'll also smack them around a couple times just for good measure.
You're stealing the
Yes,
strips Baron was making?
I'm assuming they didn't use all the cloth from their robes.
Knowing Baron, I doubt that.
Yeah, took quite a
Yeah.
bit.
Okay, then I shall use their regular clothing.
They aren't wearing anything other
Well,
than
are they naked underneath their clothes?
They have undergarments, but that's it.
Then that's not nothing. Cornelius will use the undergarments to gag and tie them up.
You
Oh,
wouldn't
that's
have enough
humiliating.
for it to actually tie them up. Be able to gag them, but not tie
Just
them.
gag them with them.
All right,
That'll be
Cornelius
bad
will
enough.
gag them with them. And since we don't want them chasing us, Cornelius will stomp on their ankles until they break.
What oath are you?
Oath of conquest. I ain't honorable. I don't need to act honorably. This is why I chose Oath of Conquest, so I could be my dickish self.
Yeah, this would be douse the flame of hope.
Mm-hmm. Good. Uh, Cornelius, Ollie would like you to know that, bro, you crazy. LMMO.
I'm neutral good, motherfucker. I'm neutral good. I ain't lawful good.
Okay. I'm then gonna go up to the pooch and go, who's a good boy and wants to come with us?
Happy Poof.
I'm gonna let the dog out.
The dog is gonna come on out. You see, they're pretty messed up.
Okay.
Do you let Silvar out?
Yeah, I am looking for Silvara.
Yeah,
Is
they're
the
off the
thing.
map. They're in the one next to the dog up here.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I let them out as I was looking for them. I was like, no, I need to let them out too. Come on, Snake Lady, you're coming with us.
But you are able to rescue Silvar.
Ollie says, Pookie, you just crazy.
As Cornelius, you see a golden retriever come out.
Cornelius will immediately stoop down and start giving it all the smushes. Cornelius loves dogs.
Their fur is kind of matted with blood, and they don't look to be in the best shape, but they're definitely a boofer.
Alrighty.
All right, I'm going
Where's
to need a
Bella?
brush and a bucket of clean, soapy water.
They did not come out of their cell. Neither did Dalton.
Can they get out of their cell though?
Yeah.
Okay. Bella, Xanth is going to hand you the other scimitar. Unless you prefer to
Oh.
fight with your hands.
Yeah, thanks. I don't use weapons. Don't need them.
Fair enough. Father Dalton, are you good with a weapon?
No, I do not. I do not use weapons per se. I prefer to fight with my magic.
That's not an option at the moment.
Then I'm afraid I'll just have to. I'm afraid I'll just go one-handed. Then I'm not good. I do not have the ability to use any weapon.
Xanth's gonna look down at the dog. Are you capable of using a sword?
The dog?
Yes.
He shakes his head.
Okay.
Oh,
I
that's
had to
nice
check.
stuff.
It could have been one of those dogs that knows how to use it. I've seen dogs wield a sword. I'm gonna look at the
Definitely
woman
not.
though and go,
The dog does seem to understand you.
I kind of figured as much. If it was in a cell with us, he had to understand. I'm gonna look at the woman. Do you need a sword?
And she tilts her head and looks back at you. She looks tired. Her wrists are beaten bloodied. She looks to be in worse condition than the maid was.
Fair. I'm gonna switch to Elvish. Can you fight?
You see, she lets out a sigh before she reaches up and starts messing with your collar.
I'll let her.
She puts a hand under your chin to force you to look up to expose more of it as she's working.
Okay.
What is the rest of the party doing while this woman seems to be working on Dan's collar a little bit?
Since she's busy, Varen will help the doggo start wrapping up some of the injuries.
They're bad, Baron. She's in pretty bad state as well. Both of them are doing pretty bad.
I'm assuming Xanth has the keys, so Cornelius is just waiting by the door, by one of the doors that the guards, or presumably, where's the screaming coming from? I'm assuming it's still going on.
South.
South this way or south this way?
South.
Fair enough. Did I see which hallway they dragged Talia and my retainers? This hallway or down this hallway? Huh? I was
The
able to see.
maid went down south. The other two went west. West.
Okay, so I'm going after the maid. I would want to go after the maid first. They would hurt a lot more. My squire is tougher than they look, and well, it didn't seem like it didn't seem like fuck. What was it? What was the name we chose for my shadow? It was
Sable.
Shade. No, it's Sable. and it didn't seem like Sable was hurt too bad. So yeah,
Nope. You
We
also
gotta help
wonder if
Talia.
Sable betrayed you, but then they saved you, so you're not entirely sure what's going on.
they gave me a key as they're meant to do. I'm not question. I don't question the loyalty of my people.
But what is Father Dalton doing? I know Bella's on watch.
Father Dalton is seeing if he can try and take off this fucking collar.
It doesn't seem to budge at all. The more you mess with it, the tighter around your throat it gets.
All right, Dalton tries to take a dagger and tries to stab into it, even if it stabs into his neck.
Where you get
Don't
the
have a dagger?
Can someone pass me a dagger or a knife or a sword? I need to see if I can remove this fucking collar.
That would be very
Father,
dumb.
yeah, Father, no. Apparently, you're not allowed to have weapons. Also,
Look,
get
I
out
will
of
not.
your cell.
I will admit, it did get kind of comfy, but I'll get. All right, look. Just someone hand me something so I can pry this thing out. It's either going to kill me or I'll get my magic back.
Or you can wait so it doesn't kill you, as this woman seems to know somewhat of how to work against them.
Oh. All right. I apologize. Sorry, I do not like being restrained more than I usually need to be.
You see, she
Pinky.
eventually moves her fingers back for a moment and looks up at you. You hear her say something in that strange language once again.
Repeat that?
You see her shake her head and go back to working.
Cornelius is just tapping the side of the scimitar against his thigh impatiently. Can we please move this along? Because
I'm pretty sure she's trying to make it so that I can understand her, which is going to be fucking useful. I want to help. I want to help those girls just as much as you do, but you've got to have some form of patience, or you're going to get us all fucking killed.
Takes another couple minutes and a couple more tries before one of the times she leans back. Can you understand me?
I
Oh, thank goodness I managed to get it through. Are you okay, Riftborn?
I'm going to want
What?
an explanation on what the fuck that means later. I am alright.
Question: What language are they speaking?
You have no
Exactly.
idea. Xanth is speaking common.
It's probably a tongue spell.
Alright.
You saw no
Are
magic
you
cast, Alton.
He used telepathic magic. He just assumes.
capable of fighting?
If I had my gear, yeah, but I don't.
Can you use a scimitar?
Not well.
Can you use it enough to defend yourself? Or are you better with your fists?
I can make use of other abilities. At least what I can do without the collar interfering.
Alright. In that case, Vernon. Varen, not Vernon. Varen.
Yes.
Fucking a big muggle comes racing in. Watch out!
I'd stab that one. Are you capable of using a scimitar? I know you're more of a healer, but can you defend yourself properly with a scimitar?
Oh, yeah,
Scimitar is a martial weapon, isn't it?
No,
Yeah.
I believe.
Yes.
Is it simple?
They're simple.
It's it is martial finesse and light.
Oh. Yeah, the short sword's
Yeah,
the
that'd be...
non-martial version when there's no difference.
Well, then,
Patient
would you
wearing-
like to rule
No.
that it's light?
But
All right,
The
so
scimitar does take skill to use.
mechanically it has
um,
no benefit over the short sword. But
if
okay.
if Xanth is trying to get rid of the scimitar, Cornelius All right. If you need, if you're trying to give someone the scimitar, give it to me. I'm not great with using two weapons at once, but I can. Will do it. It'll give me a little extra edge when I bust through these doors.
I can do a little bit more damage with it than my fist. Granted. You can probably do more damage with both of them, and I can start grappling. So, don't do anything stupid. And Xanth is going to hand him over the other scimitar.
All right. So
Because
now
I'm probably going to be better as a brawler.
Right. Now, can we please go rescue Talia?
I don't know which one's Talia, but we're working on it.
They took her down this way.
You get
Cornelius
dragged back into place, Cornelius. Whipped around, and this woman forces you to look up.
I say, what is this woman doing?
Xanth looks up.
Tell him if he doesn't sit still, I'll drag him through the deepest layers of mist, and he will not be coming out. I don't need to understand him to know he's a prick. As she seems, you can already see what she's doing. She's messing with the collar.
Yeah. Xanth is going to go, Aria a lot. Wait for this woman to work with your collar so that we can actually understand what's being said. Also, Cornelia, she said that if you don't sit still and stop being a dumbass, she's gonna drag you through the mist. Don't know what she means by that, but it's probably the equivalent of dragging you through the hell, so.
Isn't the mist
Shit.
how we got here in the first place?
I don't fucking know. I wouldn't call it a mist. I was under fucking cannon fire.
In the void. The place between.
Either way you look at it. I'm sure she'll explain what the mist is after we get out of this fucking hellscape. Sit still so you can understand the language. We're gonna need it. Especially since I don't have any access to my magic either right now. Just fucking annoying.
Cornelius just stares up at the ceiling, his foot tapping impatiently. The screams of Talia really fucking with him now.
It takes her a few minutes, but she's faster than she was with Xanth before moving on to Bella. Bella, do you let her do her work?
Yep, just will stand there.
Okay, and what was Cornelia saying?
Do I feel my connection to my powers come back?
Nope.
Okay, so they just gave me access to the language.
It takes her a little while, but then she moves on to Varen.
Varen will point her to Father Dalton first.
She waves.
You're all
off.
getting it.
Well, let me stop you then. If you're adamant.
She
I do
works
try
on-
and test something. I try and see if I can speak telepathically to the woman. No spells or anything, just test.
You feel a lashback, and you take 9 psychic damage.
Okay. Okay, so it's not just spells. Good to know. Ugh.
You see the woman turn to look at Dalton when he winces. Then she turns back to Bella, Cornelius, and says, "Someone tell your friend his abilities won't work. These things are meant to keep heroes in check."
Why the devil would you want to keep heroes in check?
Because they cause the most trouble.
I'm going to relay that to. I will act as translator to Father Dalton.
Good to know. Appreciated.
Be it Riftborn,
Well, we'll get them off soon enough.
be it Riftborn or any of the relic hunters. Sometimes you need to make sure they can't bring their full power to bear.
What do you mean, Riftborn?
There's no time to explain it right now. It's what you are.
Well, last time I checked, I wasn't a Ladrin, but I digress.
No, you're not. At least not anymore. You'll find things are very different than where you're from.
I see.
She's then going to move past Varen, having finished theirs, and starts working on the booper.
Cornelius will turn to Xanth. You picked up some of their money, right?
I
Mind if I take a look at it?
still hold up one of the copper pieces.
That pocket watch is still on the floor, right?
Cornelius has it, I think. Or he put it
No,
on the
I
table.
didn't.
Cornelius, technically it's on the table because he didn't take them.
Oh, you know what I just realized? I could have taken it and it wouldn't have gone against my tenets.
Nope.
It's the right of plunder, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, now I am going to be taking everything that isn't nailed down when I'm killing
Is
people.
that just now you're going to grab the pocket watch? Because Farron will grab it before you can.
No, you can grab it.
Okay, what time is it?
You have no idea. Because it doesn't have numbers. It has strange little
Is it a
planetary systems.
is the watch like gold or is it like? Go ahead.
No, it doesn't seem to be made of any precious metals.
It shows the planets. Which
Cool.
are they any recognizable planets?
Nope, nor
I
are the
doubt it.
constellations that seem to be moving around as well.
Well,
Joyful.
I'm assuming it has a chain with some sort of attachment, so she'll clip it onto something if she can.
You don't have a pocket, so it'd just be hanging off your belt.
But examining the go ahead.
I'm assuming it has a chain. She'll just wrap that around the belt and tie it. Go ahead.
You could steal one of their pouches.
Exam-
They do have those.
I think we already locked them up.
No one
Dance
ever
will go
locked the
steal.
door.
Well, no, I gave the key to because I gave the key to the woman. So I'm gonna go take the key from the woman while she's working on the boofer. I'm gonna go grab their 2 pouches, lock them in.
Well, there's only one that's recoverable, so we're certain somebody ripped one apart.
Whatever. I take the one that's recoverable and tie it to my belt.
Fair.
And how much was the money that Cornelius left on the table?
One gold, 4 silver, 10 copper. No, 7 copper.
7 copper. I've got the pouch, so we'll be using that.
There
After
are
examining
also 7 silver on the table already.
No, I'll grab that too.
after examining the coins, Cornelius will mention, "Well, these are definitely not from any area I've ever been."
This woman is speaking a language that none of us recognize. We're very clearly not on. We're not in Faerun anymore.
The copper piece in which you pick up seems to be marked with a almost feline type dragon, long, thin, and very lanky. And it's worked into a spiral on both sides of the coin. Woman is then going to move over.
Okay, either this is some kind of strange abomination or a sphinx and a dragon, or this is just some weird shape for a house.
Well, if it's on their currency, I'm sure it's something famous. We'll find out eventually.
Why can't people just pick the simplest thing of a golden dragon? It's the best descriptor and it's simplest.
I mean, is there golden dragons on this? Above table? Do I know what that is?
No, you don't fucking clue.
Huh?
You have no idea what. You know what a drake is. A hollow drake. You've never heard of.
You said what Drake?
Hollow.
A hollow drake?
HOLLOW.
Father Dalton, she says it's a hollow Drake, which I don't recognize. So I'm going to assume that has nothing to do with something native to whatever plane we are on.
It's
Miss, what's your name?
Halen. Most people will just call me Win, though.
Wind. Alrighty.
Win. WYN.
Win. Okay.
Oh,
All right.
when do they call you that?
I'm gonna smack Cornelius upside the head.
I say in Draconic, basically, is basically something equivalent of "May the golden law protect us as we delve into insanity with idiots."
You are still looking upward as she's working on your collar, Dalton.
Yeah, he's just waiting to see. He's not like having his draconic magic restricted. Thingamancy.
Yep. Sam's gonna look at Bella and go, "You all right?"
Don't nod at you. He's just waiting.
Fair enough.
You see, after a few moments, she lets go and nods to Dalton, having finished her work. There we go. That should at least free up some of your Riftborn abilities. The Riftborns are usually harder to pin down than everyone else.
I check and see by lighting my hand up with a shocking grasp. Not gonna hit anybody with it, just to see if it sparks.
You take some psychic, 6 psychic damage.
But they can use the ability.
No, it doesn't go through.
Oh, okay.
Can you
I'm
be
my
pretty sure
magic's
she
still
means we
busted.
can understand her now. Come on. We've got shit to do and we need to get out of here.
Finally, and Cornelius heads right back down that alley, that hallway he wanted to before, forced to screaming.
Be careful
Bella,
if you're going after the screaming. They took her to Calvia.
I don't know who that is, but if they're the one causing her to scream like that, they are going to die.
wait a minute. Do you
What?
know where our gear would be?
Probably with mine if I had to guess.
Where's yours?
On one of the higher floors.
Joyful. What's your suggestion?
Fighting Calvia unarmed is not going to go well. You might be able
Agreed.
to overpower them through numbers, but in the small torture chamber, there won't be much room to move around. They'll have the advantage.
Alright. Stealth mission it is to the higher floors to go get our gear. Do you think you can lead us?
I'm not too familiar with the way, but if we go south, I believe there should be a hidden passage that way. We might be able to use it to get onto the other side of the keep, get upstairs. Perhaps we can find one of the other two. The red-skinned one, I think, was being dragged to the courtyard, but used as practice. And I think the other one, the one with the weird eyes, I think she's being dragged to the observatory.
Alright. Cornelius, I know
Above
you want to go
table,
after.
did we?
Oh, go ahead, Bella.
I was just gonna say above table. Has anyone asked her? We figured out how to get the collars off.
Nobody's asked.
Ella would ask her if she knows where we can get the collars off at.
Only way they're coming off is the person that put them on takes them off. Or dies. You'll need to deal with the warden.
Which means these
Fair
are never
enough.
coming off, because we can't kill without our magic.
I can kill just fine
I
without
don't use
magic. Thank
magic
you.
to do things. I don't use magic myself. Which one is the warden?
The one in chains. But there's a chance someone else put them on. I wasn't awake when they did it. Most likely suspects is going to either be the High Seer or the warden. And if it's the High Seer, well, we're dead anyway.
Well, there's only one choice then. We kill everyone. Now let's go.
Yeah, but we're going to live through that. Let's go get our gear. I'm gonna grab
Most of your
Aye.
things will have been destroyed. Riftborns don't generally end up with much. Maybe a few of their trinkets make it through, but not much.
Alright. What about magic items?
Magic
Would a bag of
items-
holding I've gotten through?
No, the magic would have been destroyed. From wherever you're from, doesn't treat the Riftborn too terribly well. After the destructions of your bodies, well, it's a rough process, I hear.
And do they use magic here?
They do.
So we go kill the one in the chains, and if that doesn't work, we go kill the old man in the robes who seems to be running the place. And if that doesn't work, then we just keep killing everyone until the collars pop off.
You do not want to fight the High Seer. You will not win that fight. You'll still be
I don't really want to fight
off.
anyone, but I want my collar off.
Well, then let's go see if we can rough some people up enough to get them to take them off.
And then we can either go through what I believe to be the residential, she points to the west, or go look for that secret passage. Which would you
Secret
prefer?
passage safer.
Less likely to be people in it,
Lead the way.
but you'll need to keep an eye
Or-
on him. We're going to be
I
going
no,
right past the torture chambers.
Yeah, I'm gonna grab a hold of Cornelius, and you're gonna stay right next to me, lad. Just like old times.
Talia's grandmother is going to beat me to death.
And again, above table, did we check any of the, or ask about any of the doors in this hallway to the west?
No.
Did you just say that's the residential section off to the west?
Okay.
And they said the torture rooms were to the south. If you have further questions, you can always ask. But as y'all begin to move, the screams still echoing as you hear a dry laugh echoing as well. That tonight is where we're going to end it. So you'll have plenty of time to explore next time. So that was a lot of fun. I'm glad to have y'all along. And for those that listened in, thank you as well. I hope you come back to see what happens as this party tries to get their feet under them. Everybody have a good night. Peace.